Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
Thanks for joining us this Monday morning. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's start you off with the news making the rounds from this part of the world. We'll start with the Nigerian Professional Football League, and the Promise Keepers are keeping the promise. That's what they're doing. Of course, held Plateau United to a draw and remain on top of the Nigeria Professional Football League. They have 57 points after 31 matches. It's hard to bet against the Promise Keepers these days.
They are just 2 points clear because Kano Pillars are closing in. They had a resounding victory over Lobby Stars that ended 3-0. Also on the program is a huge stride for Max Verstappen, because right now he's 32 points clear of Lewis Hamilton. I'm talking about 7-time champion and reigning Formula One champion. It's like Max Verstappen might just be the guy to win the Formula One championship this season. So far, he has won 5 races out of 10.
All right.
Out of 9. Yeah, 9 races so far, he has won 5.
I guess we'll have to wait for the tracks more favorable to Mercedes. But Lewis Hamilton agrees that the title is gradually slipping away. All right, let's see what happens. Let's move on and talk about the biggest sport event on the planet. That's the Olympics. We continue with our countdown on the show, and officially it is 18 days to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics to be held in 2021.
And of course, one basketball team that will not be there happens to be Serbia, the team that slugged it out with the USA in 2016. They miss out this time around. Okay, but then we're not starting with the Olympics yet. We'll start off with Formula One because of what Max Verstappen is doing this season for Red Bull. Yes, when the whole race started, all eyes were on him because of the run he gave to Hamilton last season. So right now, he's living up to the hype because Hamilton, either it's going to be a tire problem or maybe crashing out, not finishing. It's been a problem for him. Mercedes has won just 3 races this season, right? So Max Verstappen he has won 5, and right now he's 32 points clear of Lewis Hamilton. So Max Verstappen is the man to beat right now.
He's the man to beat. It's hard to bet against him. I had a little hope during the practice session when Hamilton set a very good time. But when they got to the qualifying session, Verstappen cleared all my doubt. So this result was by no means any surprise to me. The one before this, which was on the same track, a lot of the commentators said it was a very easy win.
Because
Hamilton looked so confused. And this one...
he led from start to finish.
The worst version of a worst situation. And I feel sorry for Hamilton, but what you can say in his defense is that there are some tracks on the Formula One calendar that is also suited to them, but you don't know what Verstappen is going to do on the day. That's another thing. But we knew before coming here that this ground was a ground more suited, based on some of the things we've heard, more suited to Red Bull, and no surprise that they won the 2 races on that track.
No surprise at all. And for Lewis Hamilton, he finished 4th behind Valtteri Bottas, and of course came second. Lando Norris, who finished 3rd. Let's listen to the winners.
Incredible, to be honest. The car was on rails. I mean, on every tire set we put on, it was really enjoyable to drive, and yeah, pretty insane. I'm a bit amazed myself how today went. I didn't expect it to be like this. So yeah, incredible job by everyone.
Yeah, for me personally, of course, 1 place better than last week, and I started from 5th. So I think as a team we got some decent points considering the gap we have to Red Bull in terms of pure pace. So yeah, for me it's nice to be on the podium again on 2nd place. I think it's really maximized we could get today.
And well done to Red Bull Racing
All right, celebrations right there. We'll see what's going to happen in Silverstone. That's the British Grand Prix, where, as Yemi mentioned earlier, that's where Lewis Hamilton, usually his favorite to always win that. If he can, obviously he's going to close the gap because he needs to start winning. Or else we'll just have Max Verstappen running away with the championship.
And he needs to start hoping for some luck.
the tires trouble will have to stop.
Some engine trouble or tire trouble. I know you don't go into a sport competition wishing that something happens to your opponent, but then again, if it happens, you take it. So it needs all the luck it can get.
And that's it. Good luck, Lewis Hamilton. The next one. Right, let's move over to Wimbledon. Of course, there were no games on Sunday, but today a whole lot of games will be played. But before that, we'll talk about the fact that from the quarterfinals, you will be having full capacity. So for the first time, yes, you're going to be having an outdoor championship, an outdoor sport having full capacity. Even football is not being played at full capacity. So it's going to be starting with a Wimbledon where they will be open a full capacity crowd in centre courts and also court 1. That's from the quarterfinals because the UK government is giving the organisers a go-ahead to have that because at first it was operating at 50% in the main court shows, but right now, full capacity, that's like 15,000.
There's been some positive signs, and from the quarterfinal stage, like you said, we start having full capacity crowds, and the capacity of the center court is close to 15,000. So, and
that's 14,979.
Yes,
the other one is
I had it 21. So, and court number 1 is 12,345. So we're going to have those two at full capacity, but I'm very sure there will still be strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols. And trust me, the organizers will know whether or not the people entering into this place have been vaccinated or not. Sure, they have those details because health and safety surely comes before sports.
It does, because that's what they're saying. As you mentioned, ticket holders will have to continue to be required to show proof of COVID-19 status on arrival. If they don't have that, then they will not be allowed to enter. And of course, they'll be asked to observe wearing of mask and every other thing will have to follow in that. So let's take a look at the selected fixtures for today. It's a full day because the fourth round games will be concluded today. We just selected some, starting from the men's singles, Yemi, where you have Novak Djokovic and Christian Garin will be in action. Roger Federer will also be in action. Lorenzo Sonego, that's the guy he will be playing against. Felix Auger-Aliassime, also Alexander Zverev, and Milton Fesovic and Andrei Rublev. You have Hubert Hurkacz and Daniil Medvedev. Of course, Denis Shapovalov and Loreto Batista Agut are the players expected.
For the guys?
Yeah, for the guys.
For the ladies, let's also quickly look at the ladies. We have, we're going to put our searchlight on somebody that you're going to talk about later on. But Ashley Barty will be up against the winner of the last Grand Slam, Barbora Krejcikova. Emma Raducanu up against Agla Tomljanovic. Iga Swiatek will be up against the Tunisian. I'm beginning to root for her now. Ons Jabeur. Coco Gauff, under a lot of pressure, will be up against Angelique Kerber, very well experienced German. Elina Rybakina will be up against Arina Sabalenka. Then Madison Keys will be up against Golubic. So we'll see how all of this pans out. Interesting fixtures to look at. And as usual, Cecilia, the women's circuit, many surprises.
Of course, it's so unpredictable. I mean, when Serena Williams pulled out due to that injury she had, she was literally crying because I was like, this is actually the time for you to do this. Chance. But then it's not to be, because if you check all the ladies we have right now, none of them have won at Wimbledon. Yes, we still have the Grand Slam winners like you have like the likes of Angelique Kerber, of course, Ashley Barty, they won Grand Slam, but they've never won here. Angelique Kerber, she's been to the finals, right? But she's never won at Wimbledon. So when you're looking at this set of players and you're just trying to imagine if Coco Gauff, as you mentioned, I mean, under pressure, but I don't think she's going to be under pressure because if you check her, I just feel that she's enjoying her game. She's more confident now. She's just enjoying it. And then the lady you will be thinking should be under pressure is the 18-year-old Emma Raducanu, because, yes, she's the only British player left right now.
Onto the scene. Both
from the men and the women's angle. The only that guy, I mean, Roger Federer ensured that he doesn't get to this stage. Now you have this lady playing, you know, she got a wild card, right, to come into this tournament. She's in the fourth round. So all eyes will obviously be on her to see how far she will go. I'm
very sure they'll be looking at how far home support can push
carry her, yeah?
We'll see with that one. But I talked about Coco Gauff. If they're already calling you the next Serena Williams, that's trouble.
She's just 17.
Yes, they did it to Sloane Stephens. I wouldn't say Sloane combo, but the weight.
She was even older, more experienced.
Yes.
But right now, Coco Gauff, she's just playing her third Grand Slam.
Sometimes when we talk about Coco Gauff, a lot of people forget that she hasn't won anything yet.
No.
Most people don't remember that. She hasn't won a Grand Slam yet. So But she's there, the prospects there, and I think people should just ease off. Just let her
Just
enjoy
yeah.
a game. For the Brits, there's not much to cheer. Maybe just Raducanu, and we'll see what happens. All the other ones have tumbled out. I guess now they will just enjoy Wimbledon as neutrals. Whether we'll see Roger Federer extend is still undisputed king there. He's won it more than any other person on the current circuit. But
Novak
Novak Djokovic, in terms of current form,
yeah.
so it's going to be interesting. For me, if I can get to see, I don't know if Roger can go as far as the final, but if I can get to see a Roger Djokovic final, I think I will be happy because it appears that Roger is refreshed.
I just don't want to see that final again. I mean, I'm still tearing from the final one. I mean, Roger Federer gave all, but Novak Djokovic was just a beast. And right now, he's also
Especially
in that
in
beast
finals.
mode. That's where he is right now. So we'll leave tennis and quickly touch down on the NBA. The NBA finals all set. And the first time since 1974, the Milwaukee Bucks are in the NBA finals. The last time they won was 71, right?
Yep.
And the Suns, of course, they've never been to the finals. And Chris Paul, after 13 NBA playoffs games, he's finally in the finals of the NBA. So that will get our attention right now. Talking about Milwaukee Bucks, they were able to beat, well, the Atlanta Hawks. That's why the fact that they had Trae Young back after missing 2 games. So he came back, but somehow it just couldn't, give it all. When I mean give it all, they just had some few times they had needed to rest.
To be
He was
fair,
trying to get into the game. Giannis also was still missing for the Bucks, but then the Bucks knew what they needed to do. And Chris Middleton, as usual, was the guy to watch out. He took everything. I mean, he gave it all for them to be able to win the Eastern Conference finals. Right now, they're in the finals.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see a fight.
Yeah.
To me, it was a proper fight. They ended 4-2, but it was a proper fight.
Yeah.
At some point, at 2-1, I was afraid for the Bucks. I was then with the injuries to Giannis. I was like, what's going to happen here? But the other guys did the job. But in fairness to all the major teams, a lot of teams, I don't know why, maybe it's the coronavirus, teams have been blighted with injuries.
Yes.
A lot of the teams. And I keep on saying that's why I'm not a betting person. I would have said, yes, I'm going to see the Brooklyn Nets. I still don't understand what happened. I'm still at a loss as to why it happened. And you look at the Suns, they did well in the regular season, but a lot of people were just finding the ways to look past them.
Yeah.
But yet they got it done. At some point, without the main man you just mentioned,
Chris Paul.
But when he
came back,
he carried the team on his shoulder single-handedly, and at his age, it's a remarkable feat. And a lot of people already dubbing the final as a Giannis
and Chris Paul.
But I hope we get to see both of them because the way injuries have been dealing with players, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis, the coach has been talking about Giannis, that he's just day to day. They didn't have him, they were able to win, but then they were playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Now with the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, what he did in Game 6, 41 points at 36. That's huge. But then let's take a listen to the coaches now, what they're saying ahead of the finals. Of course, how excited Milwaukee Bucks coach is, especially after beating the Atlanta Hawks, even without having Giannis Antetokounmpo with them.
Really players for sure, and I think the whole organization, the front office, coaches, the owners, take a second and enjoy this. This doesn't happen very often. It's special. And then, we've had kind of long extended pauses in between each round, and kind of excited to try it without one. Maybe we can be the team that's, in a rhythm and all that. And after Game 1, I'm sure we'll talk about which was better, rest or rhythm and all that. So, but it's a quick turn, but, we'll be ready.
And they're just big. That's one thing that stands out is their size. Lopez, Giannis, Portis, those are big, strong, physical guys. And then they have big guards. And then they've added Tucker, who's a big, strong, versatile defender. So the physicality probably is the one thing that stood out. And so we have to do a really good job of, boxing those guys out, being physical when they try to, limit our screens and take us out of our screening angles. We got to own our space.
You know, the joy on the face of Chris Middleton after, you know, helping the Bucks to that finals is just something that's really infectious. So we have Rotimi Akindele in the studio this morning. He's a sport journalist with, okay. 4-in-1, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Rotimi, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay, I know what you'll be doing. I know what I will be doing now. Maybe on a particular day, I'll say Lagos Talk. Then the next day, you can say BTFM. The next day, just like that.
And then
so
the first start, you probably have to remove that one as well. Thank you.
All right. Okay. We're just listening to Monty Williams and Mike Budenholzer talking about the NBA Finals. I know you saw that game, how, should I use the word ludicrous, especially Chris Paul having 41 points. I'm like, okay, this guy is 36 years old. Yep. We saw that. And then we saw how the Hawks, you know, how the Bucks took out the Hawks. So these two teams meeting in the finals, where will your head be? We have Jordan Nwora, remember? Okay, so let me take it from the angle.
I mean, we can run off with the previews now because it starts Tuesday night in LA and probably early Wednesday in Nigeria. So the Suns, for the first time in a long while, since 2010, found themselves in the playoffs. For the Bucks as well, because it's a 50-year wait for them now to actually get that ring. Can they get it now? It's looking like on paper, if you look at the pros and cons, you might want to tilt towards the Bucks. They've got Giannis, they've got a strong defensive approach to games. I mean, they're defensively solid. They've got playoffs experience as well. There's PJ Tucker in there. And then Middleton and Giannis have been playing together for 8 years. That should count for something. For the Suns, they've got Chris
Holiday.
Paul.
I mean, you.
Yeah, I'm just saying two players that have been playing together for 8 years. That means they know each other in and out. The partnership of Chris Paul and Devin Booker will probably want to topple that, but the potency of Giannis and Middleton will be key for the Bucks to go on to win this particular one. For the Suns as well, yes, it's like a first timer for most of them. I mean, it's the first time for most of them.
Chris Paul.
That's why I said most of them, apart from Chris Paul, who's 36.
He's had a lot of heartbreaks.
I mean, he had to wait 16 years for this. So after 16 years, he's now in the NBA Finals. Can he go on and get something? It would be a good story for him. But then again, I'm thinking the way the Bucks have been playing, especially going past Nets and the Atlanta Hawks, I think that the momentum is on them to go on and win this one for the first time in 50 years.
I'm very sure we're going to bring very soon. People have been saying whoever wins this, it will injuries are part of the game, but whoever deals well with the injuries that come will probably take the ring.
Suns have been fortunate. Unfortunately for Bucks, it looks like Giannis is 50-50, so they have to probably watch him per game. But then the other guys have stepped up. Middleton, Tucker, Drew Holiday, they've all stepped up. And that's one key thing for you to go on to win a ring. Your bench has to be strong. Your bench has to be good. And I think that's what has helped the Bucks so far in this postseason. And then now they're here. So even if you have those big stars getting injured, if a Chris Paul goes off injured, what would the Suns look at? That should be the worry for them. If Giannis goes off injured, I think the Bucks can still look at one or two players to come up with the magic. So it's a delicately poised game, but I feel the advantage is still with the Bucks, and I just feel they might just edge it at the end of the day. It would be nice though. Jordan Nwora, as you mentioned, would be good if you have, I mean, you know that Nigerian angle to the story.
Yeah, and also Giannis, you know, Greece, they're not going to the Olympics, so at least they can compensate themselves, you know, with a title.
All right, I guess we need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, still so much for you on Sports this morning.
Welcome back. Okay, now time to talk about women's basketball. Yes, we know for a while we haven't there are no leagues going around, but then luckily the Division 1 of the men's league is on. But then DK Odukaya MFM decided to come up with an elite women's basketball, you know, just a mini league just for the teams, the women's teams that haven't been in action for a very long time. The whole of 2020, of course, pandemic happened and the Zenith Basketball League did not happen. But the Elite Women Basketball Championships went on, and First Bank, usual, are the champions of this particular one that was played at the Molade Koya Thomas Hall of Teslim Balogu Stadium. Rotimi Akindele, you were there. The final was between First Bank, the Elephant Girls, and Sunshine Angels of Akure. 44-30, it ended.
Yeah, I mean, by all standards,
Yeah.
Looking at the build-up to this championship, it was a good game.
Okay.
Especially for the fans who wanted, the few fans that came into the indoor sports hall to cheer this women, and see them play basketball. It was pretty good to see competition, something we've not seen in a long while. So, I mean, just like you mentioned, credit to the organizers, MFM, because MFM basketball team were actually the hosts.
Yeah.
That's the women's side, even though they lost in the semis and went on to win the third place. But then again, credit to them, we were able to see at least 8 teams go head-to-head for 7 days, and it was pretty good. From the defensive display of Sunshine, the Sunshine ladies, up until the final, because we're going to maybe go on to lose to First Bank. First Bank are what? They're like the mamas or the mamas now of women's basketball. So, but it was pretty good to see the competition. The scoreline wasn't really
high-scoring game.
It wasn't a high-scoring game,
Yeah.
but then again, it was pretty good to see at least a bit of basketball, professionally in court now being played. And I think this is more like a wake-up call
to the administrators.
To the administrators. I hope they're still there. To the administrators, like, come on, you can put some things together to just make things work and not necessarily make excuses all the time.
Make it big or something like that.
Because it looks like the excuses are far outshine or whatever we're trying to do all year.
Because I've been thinking what the excuses are for the women, because they didn't have court cases or any issue. It was going on smoothly, and then pandemic happened. And since the pandemic, we're still waiting. I mean, these girls haven't played basketball for it's going to 2 years now, because the league ended 2019, right? So 2020 and 2021, and this is July. You're not even thinking of when are they starting. When I saw that, okay, the Division 1 for the men have started, I was thinking maybe the women will soon start playing basketball. But let's listen to the coaches and those who won, what they had to say after this championship.
First and first, it wasn't or rather, it's a team we just coupled in split of 48 to 28 hours that we didn't even have a chance to practice. Then that is not an excuse for lose. It's just an experience to go home with. Like, prepare in case of you find myself in this kind of situation again, what needs to be done, because the more games you play, the better your improvement. It was on the experience and training part again that brought my team to this level whereby we have to lose to the hosts, which is the MFM team. And then because there were little mistakes that if we had practiced, we would have corrected.
I've known the weakness and the strengths of my team. Then from other teams, we know all the players from the team. We did a lot of scouting job. Then we know the strengths and the weakness of all other teams. So we're going to get ready for them and do better during the National League. We are going to do better because we're going to come in with some other stronger players. Then we're going to really work and measure. We know what it takes now. The players know what it takes to play at that level. And some of them have never played the league, but this is just an example of this is how the league is going to look like.
A little pressure on the girls. We have been practicing, and actually God gave us the victory. It feels good. It gave me an opportunity to assess my players, what I need to work on, and what I need to add to the team. You understand? So I learned a lot. And also an opportunity to see my opponents.
It's a really big fight for us from day one, but we thank God we won the tournament. It's not easy though.
I believe it's something they will love. I mean, those guys were really excited. You're not playing basketball. I remember during the pandemic, I mean, most of them are doing different jobs right now. So
maybe we should have another club or another body or a stakeholder come up with another mini league.
Yeah, I think
just
that's
keep it going.
Exactly.
I think something really needs to happen for the women's basketball, really, because if you're having a sponsor who are not regular with coming up with a league, so maybe different bodies can just.
This gulped a bit of.
It's money, prize money, 500,000
so hopefully
for the winners.
if we can get more folks come together, and you know what, let's keep this going, because I'm sure the excuse is, none of them are going to be in the Olympics, so what's the point?
Really
What's the rush?
I mean, people want to make career
those
out
are
of,
part of the excuses.
They want to make career out of the basketball. I mean, I'm a young girl that is in school. I mean, watching the WNBA, for instance, maybe got a role model with Nneka Ogumeke. I'm like, okay, I want to be like her, but you're in Nigeria. There's no league to look up to. You're like, okay, where do I go from here?
And I guess my parting shot in all of this is we can criticize the administrators, but I'm with me on the fact that, look, private institutions, others should just look. Let's forget the excuses. Let's see what we can do. Because you're talking about people who want to make a career out of this. If the the way it is, if the private bodies do not show up and all we want to do is to criticize, it means there are people who are not going to have a career from the sport that they love, which is going to be a problem.
I'm happy MFM is taking the lead for this one to allow girls to play basketball.
And just to mention, you had the wife of the state governor, Lagos State, and then you had the sports minister as well.
Okay,
so
that
event. So that should count for something, really.
All right, so now let's, that should count for something. Now let's go into the Olympics right now. I mean, how many days to go now?
18.
18 days to go, right?
Yes.
The Olympics. Okay, it's getting closer and closer and closer. When will Team Nigeria should start leaving from 6th and 7th of when?
Should be 6th, right?
From tomorrow, first batch will leave, then the second batch. Okay, all right. It's 18 days to go to Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
From where we stand, 18 days, all the stories, whether it's going to happen or not, everything off now. We're going to have the Olympics. That's what it is. All right, let's also move on something that's interesting. The touch relay, and of course, we had Brazil legend Zico take part in the touch relay. I'm going to allow you to comment on this. While he appreciated the opportunity to be part of this, he blasted the organizers because the last time they were in Brazil, and he said they ignored a legend like him. But he is happy that the guys in Tokyo, Japan, didn't make such a mistake, and he feels very honored to be part of this.
When he gets back home, he should stick that up with his
people at home.
Exactly. But then again, I mean,
he played in Japan.
He played in Japan, so it's more like a household name. He won the World Cup in Japan, the Korea-Japan 2002. So I'm sure he's a big man in Japan, so he can go out and face the government of President Trump. But then again, you can't really blame when things like this happen. You've got loads
to pick from.
Yeah, so so if they don't figure, I don't think the blaster was necessary. But then, as I said, take it up with your friends.
Okay. I mean, he's a legend here. 35 goals in 46 games with Kashima Atlas. I mean, that's how.
And he also reminded us of how he narrowly missed the Olympics. How he narrowly missed playing for Brazil at the Olympics.
Yeah, he's 68 now. Wow, Zico. All right, now let's come to Nigeria, talking about the sports minister giving us updates on how Nigeria is preparing for the Tokyo Olympic Games. So let's listen to him.
The fact that you see these young ones playing with so much skills and talent shows that the future of basketball in Nigeria is very bright, especially when you start from the grassroots. You catch them young, at this very young age, 15, 17, 18. You can see that the future of our basketball, whether male or female, is indeed very bright. The Tigress and the Tiger will play, and you know that these two teams are talented. They've represented Africa well. They've represented Nigeria well. And we look forward to an excellent performance at the Olympics. Team Nigeria consists of the two basketball teams, male and female. Consists of the athletes. We're looking at about 65 of them. The first batch leaves on July 6th. The second batch leaves on July 13th. And then we, the last batch, will leave on the 19th of July to join them. You know, there's a protocol. That's what the IOC calls the playbook. And we have a COVID-19 compliance officer who is a medical director. There's a 14 days whereabouts you need to just do the vaccination, do the COVID test. We're walking the fine line because that's very important.
All right, I mean, just giving us updates on, so the first batch is leaving on Tuesday, and then with that, the others will start leaving. So we're really hopeful. All right, let's move on. And
my only bit is that I want to see how we depart. I was thinking we're going to depart as one, but he has explained his reasons. But we've seen countries, Ghana is already there, colorful attires, people coming there to see the departure, sing.
How many teams? How many players? How many athletes are the Ghanaian? How many athletes?
Not just Ghana. I'm talking about
I'm telling
countries.
You, but Australia, for
In case
instance,
of Ghana,
not
okay.
Australia didn't go like at once. I mean, they're going to have close to 460 athletes, but you know, they started going in just
batches.
yeah, that's the thing.
I'm
That's
not
what most of
criticizing the
them do.
batches. I've
Yeah.
shifted from that. I'm
Okay.
saying, seeing us, our attires, I've seen Germany, I've seen US, and for once, I'd love to see us because it shows
You
that
okay?
you're
What you want
organized.
us to do is to unveil our Tokyo.
No, you don't have
Is
to
that what
unveil.
you want? Like
It's
what?
not just
you
that.
don't have
It's
to unveil.
There are
It's
some
just-
things you do that shows your state of readiness. That's exactly where I'm going.
You
But
don't
I'll
have
leave
to-
Rotimi to say whatever. else.
Well, you just don't have to unveil. But I get what Yemi's saying. Let us see that united front
Okay.
from the way you
Okay.
leave
Let's see
Nigeria.
how we are living tomorrow.
Exactly.
And then from there,
I
we
mean, for
start
all,
talking
now
about
for all the
minds,
batches, and then how you settle in into your games village and all of that. Let's see. I mean, we need to start that synergy now. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm going for wrestling. I don't have to talk to you because you're a basketballer or because you're in track and field. Let's see that bond from
Which is the essence of the
clothing, from
Olympics in the
exactly
first place.
anyway.
Okay.
So it should be fine. And then. Anyway, let's just wait. And just to mention the Zico story. Sorry, it wasn't part of the Korea-Japan set. I thought it was part of the Brazil setup for 2002.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it
it?
wasn't.
But he once coached Japan.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right, still staying with the Olympics countdown. The basketball team, the men, all set. So the field is completed. The 4 European nations we'll be waiting for are all ready. Slovenia is part of it for the first time. Look at Doncic leading his team there. And for Nigeria, Italy and Germany joining Nigeria's group, which is Group B. So this is a bit... Okay. Why are you smiling? Okay, all right. Over to you, Rotimi. So clear the throat and see what you have to say.
I think on paper it's pretty tough.
Okay.
Yeah, because especially with Australia and Germany.
Okay.
Italians have a good team when it comes to, teams we see in the Euro League. So I'm sure their national team is also
Serbia,
exactly
102-95. So that tells you something.
That tells you something.
Serbia finally.
I think it's pretty tough. But then again, we also have players that can come up, at this sort of stage and do something. So it's not going to be an easy run for the Tigers, especially in that group. I feel Germany, Australia, Italy are pretty tough. I mean, putting Nigeria in that contest as well.
Okay, Germany had to take down Brazil. Germany defeated Brazil for them to be able to be here. So it simply means Czech Republic beating Greece. Greece, of course, without the complement of their 4 players. And for Serbia, that are not coming, they didn't have their MVP, NBA MVP, Nikola Jokic. So they are out of it. So with Serbia not there, Brazil not there, Greece not there, Lithuania also not there, I'm like, okay.
You still have Australia.
Yeah, of course we have Australia. Yes, I know if you get that from the group, I'm thinking, who are the big guys we need to face? Let's leave the Americans. I mean, I'm not talking about those guys.
At least to win the lottery, you have to buy the ticket. So we're still in there.
We're still in there. Precisely. Because where you have the Americans, you have France also in that group, and you have
maybe they'll cancel
Czech
each other
Republic
out
in that group, and you have Iran in that group too. So
no, that's not gonna.
Okay, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Up your head, you know France, USA will come on. So.
Rotimi is telling us it's wishful thinking.
Exactly.
But we have to do that because we're Nigerians, and these guys have put in a lot. Hopefully, they'll be able to get the job done.
I think maybe the group to look out for the Group C, where you have Japan, the host nation, Argentina, Spain, and Slovenia. We look at Doncic, that is on fire right now.
Although I prefer not to look at the mathematics, but just advance.
We've always seen Argentina, Spain go head-to-head, though.
Okay.
I don't think Spain are as big as they used to. Just saying.
Okay, Slovenia. Look at Doncic.
Because of one man.
31, 13, and 11. Double-double. I mean, okay.
Well.
Triple-double.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Let's see.
Are we moving to next? Where's my lineup?
All right, we move to the next. We'll talk about football, and of course, talk about the international friendly happened over the weekend, Nigeria and Mexico. At some point, I wanted to say home base Eagles, but Eagles. So Mexico hammering Nigeria for.
How about I recall what Gennett Ross said in that interview that Nodi did with him? Nodi Okonta had an interview with him when he said, "These are not the Super Eagles."
Okay, let's push it to Rotimi. Who did Mexico beat?
Nigeria Super Eagles.
Simple. Simple.
Because even before the game, you saw I don't know if you guys saw the clip, the NFF president addressing the players, I think in their final training, and telling them, you are the Super Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mexico, that team is headed for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. They played it friendly against Nigeria's national team.
Whoever you
forget the names.
Yes.
You presented a team, the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Okay.
And then we lost 4-0.
All right, so that's the end of the story. So what are we going to take away from this game?
See,
What's to take away from it?
I think that's the real question.
Okay, so I like the fact that this happened. I like the fact that you had fans, you know, coming to watch. For them, it was a good game. For the Nigerian team, it was a good exposure because you had
a good run out for the boys.
A good run out for the boys. I like the fact that the scoreline was respectable. You can come and flog me for that, but I feel it was.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It could have been like the Aim by Inter game that we saw some years ago.
7-0.
Is it 7 or 8? But I mean, one of the scorelines, not that funny, those funny scorelines. But I didn't see that. Going forward for the NFF, what my advice would be, if you know that you have a plan for this team, for them to be the team that will probably go on to represent us in the next CHAN, then let us have a program for them now. Let it come out now.
After find a way to ensure they're always together.
Exactly. After this game has happened, when they return, let us know who is in charge of the CHAN team. Name the coach. Straight away. Let us have a program. If the season ends in August, from what I garnered, if that season ends in August, there's going to be an open camp, say in September, before the Super Eagles or the main team now comes for their qualifiers and all. Let's see how we can infuse some of those boys with the ones coming from abroad. Prosecute the games we have, the AFCON or is it World Cup qualifiers that we have.
That's if they can play up to 15 minutes, Abi.
I'm serious. Yes.
No, it's not a question of adding them. It's a question of the minutes they will be on the field.
Let's just have a program for them.
Solutions.
Whether
they will do it or not,
it's a robust program that will see these guys getting incorporated with the main team. Take on the qualifiers. By the time the CHAN qualifiers come on, we won't be running to let's go to MFM and see if they have 2 available players. You already have
a squad
that could help you prosecute some of those games leading into next year. And then you have CHAN, you have the qualifiers, you probably qualify for the main event.
And you do it seamlessly.
And you do it seamlessly. So it shouldn't be, they are back from the US, we've given you guys an opportunity, bye-bye.
That's all.
Yeah, because that's what it seems like. It's like they're doing the guys a favor for bringing them to the team and traveling to the US, and they come back, they are discarded.
I hope that's not the end story. I hope it's not, we are doing you a favor.
Let's have a CHAN team, right? A proper CHAN team, so you can actually say...
You started from here, so keep it going.
Okay.
Have a robust program, like I said, leading up to the CHAN program, and then try and incorporate some of these guys with the main Super Eagles. I'm glad that Raw was part of the entire setup from Abuja to America. So I'm sure he would have seen 1 or 2. Let's just see that.
It's workable, but let me use that thing that's become a cliche. It's not rocket science. It's workable. I hope he doesn't get frustrated. But I agree with you.
Who is getting frustrated?
I hope
the program
doesn't. These ideas.
Oh, sure.
I hope he doesn't get frustrated. But it's very, very workable.
How do you enjoy getting sticks all the time?
Yeah, if we are serious about making progress in Nigerian football. Let's move on.
Why are you asking me? I mean, especially me kept asking.
No, but the NFF should know. How do you enjoy getting sticks? How do you get simple things you can just correct and do?
Sometimes, as we mentioned about basketball, when a bigger team are actually doing so well, you're not really thinking about the smaller issues. You focus on the big thing. So I think when we keep focusing on the elites at the elite level, so the other level before the elite level usually no longer our business.
But it means you're not growing.
I think that's going on. That's what is going on here. So you're not thinking about
the growth.
The
that's the point. If you're focused on that, it means you're not growing because it should be gradual.
So the main thing is the Super Eagles of Nigeria, which is the senior national team, which is where you have the Kelechi Iheanachos and the Didis and
okay, all right. We need to go on a break. We can go on and on and on. Very interesting.
I think we should just continue with this topic.
Let's go on a break. We'll come back for more. Sports this morning. Welcome. We're having interesting conversations in the studio. I wish we can let you in on it, but maybe some other time we'll do that. Let's go to the Nigeria Professional Football League and take a look at the results. We'll talk about the promise keepers. We'll get Rotimi's views on that. But first, let's see the results. The results will give us an indication of what is happening on the domestic scene. And there you have it. Rotimi, I'm not going to reel out the results. Just quickly take us through. Take us through the results. Rotimi is, I don't know.
I think Eimba struggle continues. Another draw, not good for the title chase.
Forget about the league.
I think I told someone he was almost fighting.
They're in 6th position now.
Yeah, I think they should forget about the league. Even maybe they still have 1 game in hand or something.
They're not the only ones having 1 game in hand. United also, some other teams have 1
game in hand is nothing until you win it.
And
I think that game in hand is even against Kwara United. I like the Katina story, 3-0 over Adamawa. I mean, 3 over FC Freiburg. MFM also getting a win away, a draw away from home rather.
So they are not bad travelers anymore. Because they're picking it these days.
Yeah, they are. They are picking it these days. I think the second half has been pretty good for MFM. Kano Pillars 3-0 over Lobby Stars, pretty good as well. Wiki Tourists beating Dakada. The shocker for me was Sunshine Stars picking
away
3 points away from them. But someone said it was, I mean, according to the media, it was a delayed game. The pitch wasn't very good. It was a muddy stuff and all of that. But then again, for Sunshine Stars, they can they can start hoping that, oh, maybe we can avoid the drop. But then the trouble for Atlant continues. I've forgotten that proverb now. You can't keep playing on an empty stomach. So they have their own issues.
Yeah.
Nobody's complaining now because everybody's guilty in Atlant.
Okay.
So you can't blame the players, you can't blame the coach. You can't talk of, oh, we're going to sack the coach because he's not getting good results. Because there are some things you should do.
We open a can of worms.
Exactly. There's some things you should do in us that you're not doing.
You
so
can't
just
give ultimatum that you suspend some
exactly.
players or
when you
so just accept your L, like we always say. Accept it in good faith. Big one for me, Aqua United, Plateau United.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Aqua got a draw away from home. It's looking like it might just be their year. Nasarawa plays later today. Looks like Nasarawa will win that. Will get all 3 points against Jigawa Golden Stars. But I feel Aqua United, if they start another run after the Katsina blip, they'll probably win the championship.
With 7 matches.
I ran into is it chairman now?
Yeah.
Paul Bassi and Kennedy Boboye, the coach, just a week ago at the airport, and then they were talking about. We are keeping it calm, one game at a time. We just want to get, I mean, that was before the Katsina game. Okay. I was hoping they got a result from that game, but they didn't. Now they've gotten a result from Plateau United, another tough ground. So I feel if you look at their last run of games, they'll probably go on to win all their own games and then see if they can get 1 or 2 points away from them. And that should be enough to make them champions of the MPFL this season, which would be a very good story. Aqua United 2-0 winners over Rangers, pretty decent. Warri Wolves as well. After that, I don't know. Our Warri Wolves, they just blow out and go. They win some, they lose. But Abia Warriors have been very bad lately.
Yeah, of course.
So it's expected. 2-0, no surprises there. But it's pretty good.
Okay.
So they can't even turn the table around at all. Abia Warriors. I mean, they started badly, and then towards the middle, they grew up. And then after the break, since they came back from the break, I mean, it's been
another major slump.
Oh, well. We'll wait see how that pans out. The table will do a whole lot of. We'll see, you know, that table, the movement on the table, especially for the teams in the bottom half of the table. We'll keep seeing that back and forth, probably until the final day.
Until the final day. At least tomorrow should be able to have a comprehensive how the table really look like after the game between Nasarawa United and Jigawa Golden Stars. All right, let's quickly touch down on Euros. Just what happened over the weekend. I mean,
the results.
Football is coming home. Yeah, that's what they've been talking about. I don't know if it's going to go home because the Italians will have a lot to say about that. That's if they beat Spain. Okay, let's just
talk about the quarterfinal results before we get ahead of ourselves.
Confirmation of what it is. Yeah, Czech Republic, Denmark, 2-1. Yeah, England, Ukraine. Yeah, 4-0. Ukraine were useless. Okay, and Spain ended 1-0. Spain did score a goal after 120 minutes because it was an own goal. And it went to penalties, of course. Yeah. Switzerland, I don't know what was wrong with them on that day. They missed. They scored only one.
Against France already.
But then they scored all. So they scored the first and missed the last 3. And Italy and Belgium, well, the word number 1, I mean, they're out. So Italy and Spain, you have Denmark and, of course, England. That's what it's looking like. So for you...
But I know you... let me take you back a little. I know you want to talk about, but let me take you back a little. Denmark. Maybe because of what happened to Eriksen, there's a lot of sympathy, there's a lot of... I don't know if you feel the same way. A lot of people...
They are now a team after our hearts.
Since they won that 4-1 against Russia, I think I was telling some guys that it's good. The Cinderella story will continue. Maybe up until the semis, because if you look at the brackets, the half it's looking like, oh, they go past this easily, go past Czech Republic easily, and then maybe when they get to the semis, they play a team like England, which is going to happen anyway. I think the 3 Lions will be a lot tougher than all the other ones. So, but if they end up in the final, it will be a good story. Oh, because of what happened to Eriksen and all. But I don't think Italy, Spain, or England having that sort of empathy, you know,
Yeah,
for
true.
Denmark at this stage. But it's been a good story for the Danish team. And are they going to repeat what they did in 1992 when they were invited?
Well, yeah,
not
they
to
didn't
win.
even qualify, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see how that pans out. But then again, they have a whole lot to prove when it comes to playing England. We'll be playing in Wembley, by the way. So just like Sissy said earlier, is it coming home? Might be. They're already playing at home. So let's see if they will keep it at home.
Okay.
That should be the question.
Then the other semi-final, your thoughts?
The shocker
game.
for I don't think it's a real game. On paper, it looks like it's a big fixture,
Yeah.
but then the
Spanish team.
attitude or the approach to games, especially by the Spaniards in this tournament, has been somewhat
Laissez-faire.
very drab. I think that should be the word. Apart from putting 5 past Slovakia, it's really nothing. Spain has played like, looks
Today
like
we
these
are
Euros.
on, yeah.
We're just here.
Let's just play.
Exactly, let's just play.
Let's just
But you can see the hunger from the Italians.
Italians, yeah.
The fact that they missed out of the last 2 major competitions is really showing that they really want to make a statement this time around. And that's what the Italians are doing. So they go into every game wanting to get
They're
something.
hungry.
And I think if they go up with that same attitude, and Spain still gives us this, well, let's just play football attitude, I think Italy will easily get into
and
the
coach
final.
selection and changes and
You know, it's just a bit off. But for Belgium, I don't know how long they have to wait. That golden generation
Might not win anything.
The next big thing for them will be the World Cup in Qatar. Can they even go on to win the World Cup in Qatar?
I think if they can solidify their defense, that's where they're having problems.
maybe we'll wait for
midfield
the-
and attack is very cool, but
There are
defense
talks-
and you can't actually buy a player.
There are
from
talks
that
about the
country,
Euro
which is really
American
good.
Cup. So that might happen. Maybe Belgium can win the Euro American. Just saying something.
Before we look at papers quickly, I mean, the
Let's go to
Copa
Copa.
America, yes,
Yeah,
of
quickly.
course. You have just results and also fixtures for you, the
Over the
quarterfinals.
weekend,
Over
yeah.
the weekend, of course, Brazil and Chile. It was 1-0, Argentina beating Ecuador, Messi assist and scoring a goal
Lautaro
in
Martinez
that
as well,
one.
scoring.
Yeah, Uruguay, Colombia ended 3-0 after, they went to penalties and Colombia taking out
Peru,
Uruguay.
Paraguay, 3-0,
for-
and of course Peru later won.
Yeah, Peru,
Then
Paraguay.
Uruguay, Colombia
And then
settled, via penalties. And let's just see the semi-final fixtures quickly. Rotimi is going to get a word on that. Semi-final, before we take a look at the papers: Brazil, Peru, Argentina, Colombia. If you can do that in 45 seconds.
You know, I'm tempted
Argentina,
to say.
Brazil final.
I'm tempted to say Brazil
Do you
Argentina
agree with
final.
her? You're saying it already.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say it's a Brazil Argentina final, but then I think Colombia might just
Have a team or two to say.
cause an upset, or even
What
Peru.
about Peru? They play Brazil the second time and they're like, okay.
No,
get me
they
right this time.
can't. Brazil are playing at home. Brazil will do everything to get into that final. I don't think Peru can stop. But Colombia, if they force an Argentina to maybe go into overtime, then it could go either way. Just like we see the Chile-Argentina fixture in back-to-back Copa America. So, but, I mean, Messi is in good form. The Argentine seems to be playing pretty well. A Brazil-Argentina final will be good. And it will be a good chance for Argentina to finally win something.
Get something.
Especially for Messi. Because these games have been played, behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more like a
Pressure
neutral
is
thing.
less.
Pressure is less.
Less.
Let's see what we can get. So I'm sure Argentina will be eyeing that final spot. Whoever they take on in the final, they'll fancy their chances big time.
All right, let's go to the papers and do that quickly for probably a little over a minute. Let's take a look at Sporting Sun as we prepare to wrap things up on the show. Sporting Sun, stories in Sporting Sun. Arsenal moves to hijack Onuachu's deal. Okay, another interesting stories. Since we don't have time, which one do you want to comment on?
Anyway, I don't know. PSG tabling contract to
Messi.
To Messi.
We hear Sergio Ramos might be on his way.
Well, that's, maybe if they have those big names, maybe they can finally go on to win the Champions League. Just saying. But the Arsenal story about Onuachu is interesting as well. It looks like
Interesting if it's true.
Yeah, I mean, there are talks about him coming to England.
Okay.
The question is, where will he be playing?
Where will he be going?
Yeah,
All right.
Please don't go to Arsenal. Our Complete Sport is next for us this morning. And in Complete Sport, you have the big one here. Wenger says football is truly coming home. He's convinced that, England will reach the final. And also you have Mourinho says Spain
is that
not
home?
strong as... Okay, Jose Mourinho just confirmed what he said earlier. Spain not as strong as the Italians. Yes. Okay, Napoli president says Osimhen is not unsellable. Okay. And here, good news for everyone. Home-based Eagles will be part of squad for World Cup qualifiers.
Says
but we
who?
did get some minutes, says Gennett Raw.
Statement
Attributed to Gennett Raw. The coach of the Super Eagles says the home-based Eagles will be part of the squad for the World Cup qualifiers. What matters is how many minutes will they play. Will they play 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes? We don't know. But they will be part of it.
It's not even about the time for me. It's about...
Is it time that matters?
Nah.
It's about integration.
Exactly. Because you can play, you can play 90 minutes and not do anything.
No, how do you integrate when you're not even given time to play? That's the problem.
No.
I want to see one at least playing 15 minutes again.
No, you don't see.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta go. But first, I want to thank Rotimi Akindele for his time on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you.
The conversation never ends. We'll take it out of the studio.
No problem.
We want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. We appreciate you. Of course, we're back again tomorrow. I'm Imad Dubai. Bye-bye now.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.